Martell, the stepfather of missing 6-year-old Lily and 4-year-old Jack, was posting in a wonderful channel. It's a criming shame last night. So he was posting in the comment section. He writes, Daniel Martell writes, it was a blue Tesla car. He was warned to stop stalking the area. Are you kidding me? What? You see it right here? I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Blue Tesla car. So he went on to post a bunch of things. Now here's the ticket. After I show you things like this, I'd like you to check out that channel and watch the video yourself. Because here's why. Daniel's post is on YouTube. He's only posting in the comments section. And so there's a delay. Questions are being asked by lots of people. You don't know who Daniel is answering. He's not saying who he's answering. So what you would need to do to get this into full context, because I believe that's very important, is to take what I'm telling you and go over to Sunny and watch It's a Criming Shame, where he's posting this. But I screenshot the things that I knew some background to. So what I'm sharing with you is his own text, right? So remember, they're not in context. We don't know what he's answering, who he's answering, what he's referring to. All we can do is take it with what's being said. I have no idea, and I watched the entire live, what Daniel's talking about here. It just was posted. It's a blue Tesla car. It was a blue Tesla car. So what is that about? One. And then this blew my mind. He's stating that this individual, he was warned to stop stalking the area. Stalking. Hello, we've got a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old missing, named Lilly and Jack Sullivan. We're just now finding out that there's some, or at least I am, that there's some allegedly a blue Tesla car that is stalking the area. Guys, there's some truth to everything. But I don't know what parts are true and what parts aren't. When Daniel's saying blue Tesla car, I'm like, okay, when did that happen? He was responding to Mama Angie's comment. Please, Mama Angie, elaborate. So it's like all our beautiful channels are working wonderful together. It's in the Fog was Sunny's guest over on It's a Criming Shame, and she actually spoke to what she's saying was RCMP, and so it's worth watching. But like I said, I screenshot a bunch of what he's going to say. So we'll come back to what he was responding to. Now, you don't know for sure, and we don't know for sure because he didn't say your name. But with everything in this case, it's something you're going to have to use your own judgment with. Even what he's saying here could be complete BS, right? Because with Daniel, the BS meter's been going up and up and up and up and up. So yikes. That's what I thought, Victoria. That's what I thought. Good to see you. A Balance says, I think so too, Mama. I'm trying to get my chair situated. I'm not an AI. AIs don't have a problem with their chair. There's so much to go over what he said. Okay? All right. Let's talk about the blue car for just a minute. Hear me out on this. If there was somebody that was stalking this area, wouldn't that person have been like very thoroughly vetted? But we don't even hear. He was just told to stop it. Why didn't Daniel say this person was a suspect in the blue Tesla car, or this person was interrogated, or anything? What, they just were like, we saw your car in the area 3-4 times and you don't live around here, so stop it. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm like, that blew my mind, because I'm like, is he just making stuff up now? Has anybody else, somebody tell me, has anybody else heard about this? Why don't they want people searching around their 1111? What are they hiding? Thank you, A Balance. Oh. Y'all, I've been doing some thinking. Let's talk for a minute. Get the PowerPoint off. We've got to come over and talk about this for just a second. And I'm just going to throw it. Okay. Shut up and start talking, Mama D. All right. No laughing matter. Okay. Some of y'all are going to be like, they're not smart enough for that. They're just not going to think that way because they're not smart enough. And I'm not trying to insult anybody. We are dealing with more simple people. We're witnessing that. And there's nothing wrong with that. We will help them through their dull, tool in the shed kind of moments. But I don't want to hear that when it comes to this. Because this could have happened very easily by instinctively not wanting to poop in your own sandbox, okay? So if the children, the narrative being fed in the beginning by both Daniel and Malaya and all of the family was that the children may have been taken. We've also had, which I call grandpa, but he's uncle or cousin. He's O'Grady, right? A big can of beef to me, but whatever. He's alleging that the children were put in the car by the mother and whisked away to the reserve, one of her reserves. Okay, hear me out on this. If something did happen with rugs to these children, such as Fent, and there was an accidental passing because of negligence, all right? And if the little Scooby-Doo camper is actually a mathematical lab, then they would dispose of the children, but not on their property. I would think the statement made by one of our commenters, our posters yesterday, has now come into full view what they were saying. And they said, if I was a neighbor of them, I'd watch my backyard. Right? So then we can add on that four-wheeler that may have been used because it's at their disposal, but you're going to find out Daniel says he never touched that four-wheeler during any of the searches ever. You'll find that out. All right, then, because I got it, you're going to find out about what Daniel says on the cadaver dogs, too. There's a lot to disclose. However, if we go just down some dirt little path, according to Grandpa O'Grady, that takes us to Daniel's family, his father, his daddy. What if they went there, but instead of putting on their property, they put it on a neighboring property to them in a shallow burial site disposal, so that the neighbor would be the first one suspected, right? I'm just saying. I think we are looking at more areas that need to be searched. Where are the cadaver dogs? Isn't this an emergency? Children are missing. I would hope to God this is. Hello, everybody. Good to see you all. There's a lot of you here. Mama Angie says there was a TikToker that was bugging the family. He confronted Dan's dad and was warned by Popo to stop bothering them. Drove a blue Tesla. Okay, that's why I preference everything with we need the context. So lesson learned for me. It was to Mama Angie. There was a TikToker that was bothering the family. He confronted Dan's dad and was warned by the popo to stop bothering them, and he drove a blue Tesla. So let's go back over to what Daniel was saying. That's why I was like, what is this about? And so he's saying it was a blue Tesla car. He was warned to stop stalking the area. So it was after the fact. Okay, thank you. Maybe you guys can help me with the rest of these, because they just get more frustrating. So on this one, you guys, hold on. I doubled up on something there. Okay, yes, a balance. Thank you, lovely. He was. Let me get caught up on chat. Yes, there is at least one neighbor. We've shown it many times on here. How fast can a four-wheeler cover ground? Good question, Tress. Okay. Yes, Mama Angie, they do live close by. We've done our map time. They live 500 feet away. We proved it on Google. Okay, Avastem, happy to have you here. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. In my opinion, babies are on the property. No way did they walk through those woods. But even if they didn't walk through the woods, could they have driven a four-wheeler? Just asking. And Rach is reminding you guys, please support the channel by showing the love and support of hitting the like button. I say support the channel, which is in our path to help all that we work on here, okay? All right, you guys, day 2. What is this about? Well, this I do know what was being discussed, and I believe that Daniel is answering. I'll let you be the judge if it sounds like it's in content. So we were talking about the baby blanket, the pink blanket of Lily's. And they were asking point blank if it was found on day 1 or day 2. And the panel was kind of like back and forth for a little bit, but they were going with the idea that they thought it was on day 2, which that would have been the second day after they're reported missing. Daniel confirmed what I believe to be the confirmation of day 2. So if you were wanting to know what Daniel's answer is, that is his answer, day 2. Kimberly, sure, hello, welcome, lovely. If they was in the woods, they would have something on CCTV from the property. Not necessarily. Because the camera faces one direction, but there's a backside to that camera that it doesn't face. And if you're familiar with the property, you can go on the backside of every camera along the way. I know because we have huge property at Mom and Dad's, and we have four-wheelers, and we also have cams out there that automatically catch any movement for deer, right? And you wouldn't know we were out there on the four-wheeler. Not if we take the back path. Just saying. Thank you, Ocean Deep. We do ask that. Aw, thank you, Kimberly, for the snooper chat, a $2 snooper chat. Appreciate that, lovely. Durward Sun has a bus. Well, thank you, NS Blue Noser. Appreciate the knowledge. Mama Angie says, Nova Scotia, I brought up the bus driver before. Oh, NS, sorry. People won't even entertain the idea or thought. Could have been a bus. It could have been anything, right? Just some sort of a vehicle. All right, so day 2 on the blanket. Now I'm going to come back up to top side. I've got something to share with you that I feel is inspirational. I'm not going to be pressured, nor am I saying this to get you to ask. I'm not here to perk your curiosity. I am not going to answer one question, but I am going to tell you this. There was information posted after one of our videos this past week, and it was posted by a commenter that basically made a statement that was worthy of being reported. And they were trying to get a tip across. They were like, this needs to be known. And I was able to connect that information from them I don't know if it's validated or not. That's not my job to verify anything. But the tip, I called it in. Now, here's the thing. In the United States and with my phone, that combination doesn't allow me to call international. And so I was not able to call Canada. So if you are in the United States and you're like me, you do not have a way to call RCMP. You do not have a way to call their tip line. You can automatically call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they will absolutely get it to the correct people that it needs to go to. That is the foundation that we here on this channel, on all my channels, support. And we're also going to be supporting them in a much beautiful way of financial support through Paradox Painting. So if you're a member, or you are, well, not a member, but a subscriber of Paradox Paint, we will be coming back and doing paintings on that channel for the missing voices, which means that 20% of all of our sales will be going directly towards the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So we're happy to announce that. And let's get back into this. NS Blue Noser says Durwood's son was raided by the RCMP for playing with his girlfriend's kids that are similar in age. He is on the platforms as NS Hippie. Thank you for sharing your opinion. We have no proof of any of that, but we certainly appreciate you sharing that. NS Hippie. Okay. We got Mama Angie making a correction to that. NS, come on now. He wasn't raided. Like I say, I'm telling you now, we cover speculation, we cover theories, we cover facts, but you'll know when we're doing what we're doing. Right now, salt over the left shoulder. Take it with a grain of salt. Pinch of salt here. So Mama Angie comes back and says, NS, come on now. He wasn't raided. The police showed up to check because of the crazy rumors. See, you just don't know. Well, I couldn't in the Canada version. It has to be in the United States for me to call. But I did call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and they were able to take the tip very well and did a great job. Got every detail of where to find this post, how to get in touch with this person, everything. So I was very happy about that. They know about our channel, everything. All right, my lovelies. Lisa says, Katrina, that's always been in my mind that they know the land like the back of their hand. Right. Okay, let's get into this. Let's start making some headway here because there's a lot. All right, Daniel Martell. This is one of his posts, all right? He says, I left for 10 minutes to search dirt roads and culverts in the area. When I returned, when RCMP were walking down the driveway, they told me not to enter the woods and to wait. Then how are you ahead of the helicopters? I don't get that. There's something wrong here. But okay. I don't know. What are y'all thinking on this? Kimberly Short says, I think they may have passed, just can't believe no evidence has been found after this long. They definitely masterminds and know what they're doing. Well, you got to remember, they know the land, and I think they know how to make someone disappear. Yea, they work with National Missing Persons in Canada. Great people. Correct. Exactly. Al Henry thought he was in a divorce from what I thought I heard on YouTube. Dee's brother, in my opinion. Yes, Justin allegedly, Daniel's brother, allegedly is having marital issues. Tress, welcome back. Someone called because the children were a close age of Jack and Lily. Well, that's not fair. Maybe they thought it was Jack and Lily. Then I'd say call, right? So what do you guys think about this? A Balance says he's admitting to having reason to be far away from the house, possibly moving evidence. I think you get the goat. You get the goat. And it's because this good old country boy is about to reveal in one of these posts that he never touched an ATV in any of the searches. Why is this country boy? First instinct, these kids might be in the woods. Why would he just automatically hop in a vehicle and drive so far? If it had only been a few minutes, you're simply getting out of range where the children possibly really are. But we'll get into that. Viv says, I just don't understand how so many people are taken in by Daniel and can't see through his obvious lying, controlling, manipulation, in my opinion. All right. I'm going to call it out like a spade that I see it. Thank you, Viv. Y'all know how much hatred and how much people were repulsed by me. Because from the get-go, the second I watched the first interview with Daniel, I read his energy and was like, and I tore him apart. But nobody was ready for that. Because at that time, y'all had weighted up your little pant legs and was ready to go through whatever bullshit that he told you, because you and a lot of people thought there's no way he would advocate for these children and search like this if he wasn't being honest. But we got a 17-year-old TikToker that is now arrested for taking out her parents after making a lot of TikTok videos about why me? Why me? Yeah. When the shots were fired, it was her 5-year-old sister that found her own parents. And then the 16-year-old responded. That TikToker's now charged with the brutal attack. So, we have to realize sometimes people are going to do everything they can to control the narrative and get ahead of it. Is that what Daniel's doing? I have no idea, but we're going to stay on it. A Balance says people are drawn to Daniel because he's the only source of info, putting himself in the place to write or rewrite history. Very good. Very good, A Balance. Seeking justice. Hello, beautiful. The suspect always puts themselves in front of the camera. Facts. Not always. Not always. Sometimes they just do the job and move on to the next one. That's it. But often, you're right on that. Kimberly Short, Daniel wasn't even looking at the cameras. Oh, look at this one. Look at this one. Remember when I was all like, telling y'all he was fake crying? That there was no tears? Remember that? I told you, no tears. Every time he winces down to act like he's crying, his eyes would be the first thing that came up before his head. Because he's watching to see what that interviewer, if she's getting it on camera and if she's believing it. If she's believing it or he, the interview's believing it, he can keep going, right? Just saying. All right, let's get back down here. So Daniel says, I never stopped searching, only came home to eat and drink. He never stopped searching. Then how is he on the computer typing? Because he never stopped. Yet he gets on here and says there's nowhere left to search. He even said in one interview he hadn't searched very much because they've covered absolutely everything. Then in another interview he says he'll search for the rest of his life. And we all questioned that. What do you mean by search the rest of your life? What if they're found tomorrow? You're still going to search? So here's the hero syndrome. Only came back home to eat and drink. Hero. La 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 la. Yes, Trish, you're right. We're going to get into that. Daniel says his mom has a timeline. So where is it, Daniel? You are all lying. Where is Jack and Lily? Thank you, Tress, for sharing your questions. Claire says, UK, Ian Huntley took 2 girls and unalived both, but was a main searcher and the red rummer. Yep. All right, so never stop searching. Okay, next. Oh, wait. Let me do my impression. Because that really ticked me off. That little snotty remark by Haley. Next question, please. That's what I feel like she would sound like. Oh, my golly. Here comes a goat. You're getting 3. This is the biggest red flag in this country boy's mouth. Why on God's green earth? Why on God's green earth would you not take the ATV, the 4-wheeler, at all? Why? You're going to take a car? How fast are your children going? If they're not... You think children are going to be like, well, I have to stay on the road because there's nowhere else we could possibly go? Or being your children won't cross the damn road because you have somehow convinced these children that are not aware of stranger danger to fear going across the road, so you can guarantee they didn't cross the road, but yet you hit that pavement. First thing you did is get in your car. And look at this. You never touched the 4-wheeler. Never touched the 4-wheeler. BS meter just blew it. Blew. Because it's bullshit. This I call bullshit on. You never use the ATV, not once, during the search. Okay. Fair enough, Daniel. Fair enough. But was the ATV used prior to the search? Or was it, yeah, that's my question. There you go, Daniel. Was the ATV used before RCMP got there? Maybe even the night before. Was it driven with that blanket of lilies that you ripped out of the window, wrapped around them babies, which happened to get caught in a tree, while you tore off to, I don't know, maybe the neighbor's property over there by your daddy's property with them kids, and then the other 4-wheeler would come with a bucket of rocks, right? But if you didn't do it, Daniel, then the next question I have would be, Janie and your brother don't seem to have been able to qualify or answer anything about taking a poly. I've heard rumors that Janie didn't take a poly at all, like refused that too. Heard rumors, that's all it is. So, okay, why didn't you take the ATV? So the searchers get there. They tell you to stay put, but you're ahead of the helicopters in waist deep in water. But you never thought, as a country boy, your first thought wasn't, I'm going to jump on my 4-wheeler and go down there on these trails and see, because they would be the path of least resistance for the children. They'd know there were no cars, which apparently you've got them scared of cars because they're not going to cross that road, right? So if they went on their own, and you're honest, you honestly think they went on their own into the woods at first, right? Because you're searching all this stuff. You didn't take the 4-wheeler, which would have allowed you to go off road and back on road and go on the trails and cover a lot of ground. Biggest red flag I got. And I call bullshit. Okay, maybe, no. Hold on. I think this may be true. He avoided the ATV during the search. I think the ATV was used prior to the search. There we go. Yes, that's what we've heard. And that could be why she's getting a lawyer and going to court. And I'm just going to tell you, it's frustrating when I read all the crap. What woman fills a pothole in the rain, in the dark? NS wants to know, Daniel, did you fix the chicken coop pin wire? What? Kimberly Short said, took him 10 minutes to search the woods, full of rugs, heart beating 10 to dozen. He's faster than any motor vehicle. I don't think he was searching for the kids. I don't think he was disposing of the kids. I think the children were removed, I will say disposed, sorry, prior to 911. Prior to the call to the school that they aren't coming in. I don't believe the children were alive by that time. What I believe Daniel was doing is disposing of rugs and paraphernalia. That's my theory. Yeah, not a priority with the state of the home. I agree. Yes, we do have some words, Star Winters, that were posted by Daniel's mother. We're going to get into those, and I need to get rolling so that I can share all this and we don't run out of time. It's not the first time them kids have been in the garden playing, so why is it any different this time? I asked myself. Right. Very good questions, you guys. All right, so let's just move it right along and see what he says next. You know, some people... Okay, Daniel Martell. He says, the cabins are about 100 feet from the left of the driveway. My children built them. So we were wanting, somebody was wanting to know, what are these cabins about that you know, went there first, right? But he said he went there first, but he really said, okay, he doesn't say what he did first. In other interviews, he does. First thing he did was get in his car. We heard that 1,000 times. Then all of a sudden it changed. First thing I did is go look in the cabin. So now we're all like, wait a minute. You completely just told us for frickin' sake 6 weeks that the first thing you did was get in your car and drove. So the cabins are 100 feet from the left of the driveway, if you're wanting to know what cabins he's referring to. And when he says my children built them, he's talking about his other children, not Lilly and Jack. Okay, this, boom, boom, boom. Daniel's claiming that he asked for cadaver dogs a few weeks ago. Why wouldn't you ask, if you were all like, it took you that long to think about asking for cadaver dogs? We're at 69 days. And it was a few weeks ago, so it was at least a month and a half your stepchildren were missing, and you were like, woke up one day and you're like, maybe I should ask them if we can get some cadaver dogs. Huh. And that's only after other people were saying all about the cadaver dogs and why don't we have them. He never brought this up before. He's altering his statements according to what people are saying they want to hear. We want to hear about cadaver dogs. We want cadaver dogs on the property. Everybody and their brother, every creator has asked, where the hell are the cadaver dogs? We have missing children. You have said, as police officers, that suspicion is your main focus, right? Suspicion of foul play. Where are the cadaver dogs? We have this whole theory about there's one dog in all of Canada or Nova Scotia named Doc, but that was in 2010. So nobody really knows where the dogs are. All we know is that that's been the main topic for over 2 weeks. And now Daniel states that I asked for cadaver dogs a few weeks ago. You see how the narrative seems to be built off of what he's learning off the internet, which is a master manipulator. Why do you think he comes in those chats? So he can see how to sway it. So that the next live, he's more prepared, right? With what he's going to say. Now he's going to talk about cadaver dogs, right? That's how I see it. Daniel says, I was told cadaver dogs would be in June. It's now July. So if that's true, if that is true, that's pathetic. That is pathetic. Tell a parent that the dogs will be there in June, and here we are in July. If that's true. Unfortunately, Daniel never talked about cadaver dogs until you did. You feel me? You talked about it first, and then came the story. Lisa says, Daniel asking for cadaver dogs. Could it be that the kids were driven out before unaliving? That's a hard one, right? Mama Angie says, that said it all. Mary Dalmatian, good to see you, Daniel. Didn't Daniel say the ATV had just been bought? That's why it's clean and shiny. I'm sure he said it in comments yesterday. I may have missed a lot because I couldn't keep up. Hey, Charmaine, good to see you, my beautiful. There are 12 throughout the entire country. Thank you. And I bet every one of them would travel to help. So Charmaine also has her own channel, as well as she often appears with Sunny on It's a Criming Shame. And today is Sunny's anniversary, so I wish her and her husband the best, and welcome Charmaine into chat. Thank you, lovely. Great to see you. We all just got to work together, right? And like I said, make sure if you want to be able to understand all of this in context, hit over there because Charmaine was on that with It's in the Fog and Sunny on It's a Crime and Shame. And you can watch it all in context by listening to what everybody's saying, and then you can watch the chat and you can see when Daniel's words are coming up, and you might get a much better understanding. Like I said, all I was able to do is grab little snapshots, right? They are very expensive, but between all of us creators and family and you, we need to know if we supply it, if we pay for cadaver dog, right? And we get them on property. We could get Dolly on board. I don't know anybody that would not put a couple bucks towards getting cadaver dogs. We just simply need to know. So if it takes me calling the National Center for Missing Exploited Children to try to find out, to get the info, I will. I just need to know. What do we need to do, you guys, to find out how to get cadaver dogs there? Or are they coming? Would they be allowed? Would it be considered, I don't know. It could get really messy. And so I would like the RCMP to handle it. It could get really messy because we've had it to where in the Sebastian Rogers case, people were actually planting crap and sending a tip to the planted stuff to fool dogs. And it was stupid. And searchers were getting threatened, and it got really ugly. So we'd rather it be in the RCMP's hands, but they better get a move on. Because right now, all we're seeing is a dropped ball. When these cadaver dogs are not being spoke of, we don't have a presser to tell us it's in the works, nothing. It's a very, very frustrating. Missy says the interview was on the following Sunday. The kids went missing. He clearly mentioned cadaver dogs. Did he? I apologize if I have misspoken. I had never heard about him asking about it. But if he was asking about cadaver dogs early on, I will apologize right now to Daniel and say I'm wrong and I am sorry. Thank you. If I say something wrong, please correct me. Bronze Goddess says Toronto is a huge metropolitan city. They have sea dogs for sure, even if NS doesn't have them. They can be brought in. Thank you. Wonder if EquiSearch comes to Canada. That's a good question because they're amazing. Lindsay Shannon, welcome, lovely. That ATV pic bugs you. Why there's luggage open in the background. That makes me get the creeps. Makes me wonder about, Gannon Staunch. Okay, here we go. Let's get off the cadaver dogs thing. Daniel Martell says, Mom, meaning Janie, discusses full-time interview, or full timeline in interview. So where's the interview? Obviously, it's already happened. When does it air? Because you don't have control of that. The network does. So he's making it sound like she already did the interview, and Janie discusses the full timeline. I pray that that is true. I find that absolutely hopeful. I'm hopeful. Bonnie Randall says David Riggin of Someone Knows Something has had private cadaver dog handlers help him with his podcast. I'm always interested in the dogs, right? NS says, yes, one of his early interviews he asked, all right, I'm coming on screen. That's 3 people that said it. So with that being said, I want to take back what I said by humbly apologizing to Daniel about the whole cadaver dog thing and doubting him. However, you bring it on yourself because you've told many untruths. And so now I don't know when to believe you and when you're telling the truth. Because you cried wolf too many times, little boy. If you had stuck with the truth, and like with Lily's blanket, when you lied about that child's blanket, allegedly lied, that took you off like my trust thing, and now you're on the bullshit side. Now I need waiters, and that's your fault, not mine. Yes, I come in skeptical, but you have to give me a reason to doubt you. So, an apology with an exception that how am I supposed to know when you're being honest and when I can trust you? See my problem? Because you broke my trust. But I do pray to God in heaven above, in Jesus' name, that Janie gave an interview and that we get to see it. Thank you, Missy. That's awesome. That's right. And you're going to be doing some looking around and getting some pictures. I love that. I love that. Mama says hello to Charmaine. Hey, Bronze Goddess. Lisa S. says Daniel didn't deserve any apologies. He is a liar. Well, if I'm wrong on something, I'm going to apologize. I am not above apologizing if I'm wrong. I'll be the first to admit it. Correct me if I'm wrong on anything. I always want to be honest and truthful. And that is the truth. I want to be. None of us are 100%. We try. Right? Charmaine's got it. Charmaine, you get the goat. It's on the road. It's on the damn road. It's not even in the driveway, right? Or am I wrong? I could be wrong again. If that pothole, I believe in when I was watching Daphne's case files, and she did an exquisite job of watching that searcher with the footage. Go watch her channel too. She's doing an amazing job. Hats off. But she caught that moment where the searcher goes over the pothole, right? So check her channel and see the pothole. But if it is on the road, which is public, I want you to take a metal detector over it. And get a lot of pictures. Maybe even dig it up. Don't get hit by a car, though. Rena Gale, I will believe Janie did. I will believe Janie did an interview once I see it. Fair enough. Fair enough, love. I can pray, though. Missy Ledger says, not your fault, Mama. I just found that interview. I never thought he mentioned it. Yes, I'm giving them all to you, Mama. Thank you. I'll share them with everybody. I promise. I ain't going to be keeping nothing back. Seeking Justice says, Charmaine, good question. I'll ask Judy Ron. Dave and Twilla, always on Ron's show, truthfully. And they are, okay, Dave Radar is like, oh my gosh, really on the spot with these. They're so professional and they do an amazing, amazing job. So please, Jesus, we have prayed to get lawyers and got them. We have prayed to find bodies and got them. Prayer is the strongest thing we've got right now for Lilly and Jack. Pray that EquiSearch or something substantially like it, or better, whatever, if there is better, we get help to locate where these children are. We pray that. You got the goat yesterday. I give it when it's fair enough, right? Lisa says, even if a GoFundMe paid for cadaver dogs, I hear the RCMP wouldn't necessarily let them search. Is that right? Correct. We would have to have complete approval. It could get really, really messy. I don't want to touch it. I'd rather the RCMP get their butt going on that. All right. Now I'm going to tell you now, this is not normal in any way at all. But okay, let Daniel think it is. I have covered missing person cases where I've known the parents very well. When you're meeting several times a week and working with investigators, you are a suspect, my friend. Just saying. Daniel Martell says, I work with investigators directly multiple times per week now, answering questions and working out small details, and also bringing in new evidence. Are you sure you're bringing in new evidence, or are you manufacturing? I'm just asking. And helping exploring new angles. Oh, I'm almost choking. You guys almost choked to death. What? Lisa S. says, last time the speculation got wild, the RCMP made a statement, but that was a whole 3 weeks ago. All right, you guys, let's get on to Janie's post real quick. We've only got 5 minutes, and I got to jump off here. All right, Jamie's post. Here's something for you guys to discuss. Tell me this. If Belinda hasn't seen Jack and Lily in two and a half years, why all of a sudden is she in them now? I haven't seen my grandbabies since this happened. There's a person called a lawyer, and there's a place called court, and that's where I'm heading to see my grandbabies. I'll fight tooth and nail to see them, and no one's going to stop me. All right, Janie, I got something to tell you. Most people don't require a lawyer and the court to see their grandbabies. So, see, that's what I'm talking about with, unfortunately for them, we're dealing with people that don't see what we're seeing in the levels that we're seeing, because we've been in this crime world genre a very long time. Almost 10 years for me. Next year, I'll be in this business for 10 years. All right? I'm the oldest mama on true crime, I assure you. And on that, when you are having to get a lawyer and fight the court to be able to have visitation of grandchildren, you are very suspicious to me when you can't see them, and your other 2 step grandkids that you put yourself on the property are missing. That's where I'm leaving it, guys. That's where I'm leaving it. Oh my God, you're right! Oh, seeking justice. If you have never seen The Burbs, OMG, the furnace. Oh my golly. Oh my golly. Oh, A Balance. I love you too. Hats off to It's a Criming Shame. I got tongue-tied. In the Fog, Daphne's Case Files, and whoever else is working on this case to get justice for Lilly and Jack Sullivan. All right, you guys, we're going to close with a little prayer. I invite you humbly. I beg you, okay? Mama D begging you from my heart. Please put your energy together. We pray for Lilly and Jack Sullivan to be found. Give us the tools, give us the authorities, remove all the blocks of whatever it is. And in the power of Jesus' goodness, we ask these things, that Lily and Jack be found by the proper people that will bring these babies home, whether it be to lay them to rest in a Christian burial or whatever type of burial that they need, but that it be proper and pure. In Jesus' name I pray these things with all my heart and all our 1111 hearts. Amen. I love you guys. Put your prayer out there no matter what. It will help. Prayer is the answer to everything, and I truly believe that. The poll. You guys caught me. You caught me. All right, real quick. We're going to end the poll. We've got, oh my God, oh my golly, we have a lot of votes, 176 votes. So get your vote in right now. The question was, if you want to play along at home as my beautiful replay crew, I invite you to do so. Where in the heck are Jack and Lily Sullivan? That's the question. Answer A, somewhere in those woods. B, disposed of in water. C, safe at the mother's reserve. Or D, buried near or on the family property? I'll tell you right now. Are you ready? Get your answer out there. Here's the answers. 10% believe that A, somewhere in the woods. 21% believe B, disposed of in the water. Second least favorite, second favorite was C, safe in the mother's reserve, so 23%. And a finality of 45%, not the majority of 100%, but a good majority of you believe buried near or on the family farm. Whew. I love you guys. I will see you again very, very soon. Make sure and smash the like button, you guys, because this is supporting the channel. The channel grows. We get our word out there and start looking forward to our painting for the missing voices, because we're going to do that over on Paradox Painting next week, and I can't wait to do that. I love you. See you again very soon. Bye for now.